just wanted to comment on this. I just had this crazy thought. So, a couple days ago, the world was introduced to a Coldplay moment. All right. So, there was a Coldplay concert, and everyone by now has probably heard of this. If you're connected to social media in any way, you've heard of this Coldplay concert. All right. So, Coldplay has a concert, and at this concert, there is a couple together. They're on the Jumbotron. We're going to watch it in a second. And the Jumbotron shows a guy with his arms around what looks like his woman. And once it shows them, they immediately turn away and they hide from the camera. And the lead singer of Coldplay says they're either having an affair or they're really, really shy. And this story has blown up everywhere. Let's watch the video, and then I want to say something about it because I thought it was actually really interesting. So let's watch this for a second. Here we go.
CEO caught in a controversy at a Coldplay concert is now facing the music, at least when it comes to his career. Astronomer CEO Andy Byron has officially resigned from his position after he was put on leave following the alleged cheating incident. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman has the story.
The awkward kiss cam moment went viral very quickly, gaining millions of views online. The Philadelphia Phillies got in on the action, making fun of it. Their mascots recreated the moment on the big screen at a baseball game on Friday. And there's this trend now of people doing the same thing at games, ducking and turning their back to the kiss cam camera, like Andy Byron, who was the CEO of New York-based software development company Astronomer, and Kristen Cabot, the company's head of human resources, as Coldplay's frontman immediately commented on how they reacted. All jokes aside, the moment had serious consequences. Astronomer launched an internal investigation, and these two were both placed on leave. Andy Byron, who was the CEO of Astronomer, resigned. The company released a statement on Saturday saying, quote, Astronomer is committed to the values and culture that have guided us since our founding. Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently that standard was not met. Andy Byron has tendered his resignation, and the board of directors has accepted. Reporting in Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You okay?
So here's the crazy news. Here's the good news of all of this is that the company made the CEO step down, right? Like, wow, shocker, right? That there's some integrity to the fidelity of marriage. Shocker. Cool. But here's the thing I've been thinking about. So, every once in a while, a story goes viral and takes the world by storm. And everyone hopes, if it's in a good way, that their story becomes the one that goes viral. Now, I didn't know anything about this. I started seeing on my Facebook wall tons of people posting a picture of the couple, little clips, and then I eventually, figured out and learned what happened. And I had a couple thoughts. Now, first, my thought was, well, this is going to help a lot of people not commit adultery because you never know when it's going to catch you. Then I thought, no one that's committing adultery is going to any more Coldplay concerts. It's just not, because they're going to be looking for people now who look like it's just going to become a thing for a minute. In fact, here's another good news. This might happen a lot where cameras are going to be looking for that viral moment to capture someone who seems to be afraid. But here's the other side of it. Everyone is mocking this and having fun and pretending like they're afraid. So I had a bunch of thoughts, and I've seen a bunch of different things. And so while there's a lot to talk about, I really had this one thought about the illusion of connection. The illusion of connection. And it's going to connect in a weird way to something my favorite WNBA player, Caitlin Clark, said in a recent interview. She was being interviewed on Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe's podcast, and they were talking about social media, and Caitlin Clark said something to the effect of, social media is just not real. It's not a real thing. Like you think like social media is real, and then you go to the stadium and you see these fans and they love you, and these little boys and girls, they're excited to see you and so forth, right? And I thought, yes, that's a good point. And for many of us, social media is real because we never really rise above it, right? We're always connected to it. We get a lot of our information from it, but in many ways, social media represents a small microcosm of what people think. Unless a video goes viral, like the adultery video at the Coldplay concert. And I watched so many people, I even put on Facebook like, Coldplay concert, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It was a quote I read from, I think, the woman who actually was the one who filmed the couple and so forth. But I started watching this blow up, and I just had this reality of, because I have real relationships and I have people that are real, I started thinking about, wow, the illusion of connection. I started thinking about how much we feel connected on social media, but actually, if you look at the studies suggest that people are more depressed, more alone than ever, are getting therapy for depression, for loneliness, yet we've never been more connected as a society. Like, we've never been more connected, yet it's such an illusion, right? It's such an illusion. And let me explain more what I mean. As I watch people rally around the moral failing of this couple, right? And again, hey, it is what it is. You got caught, you got caught. The Lord works in mysterious ways, right? But I started thinking about, it's interesting watching people, just for a brief moment, feel a connectivity to someone else's moral failing, right? And you see this all over the place. This happens everywhere. It happens to all of us. It happens locally in our churches. We rally around moral failings of people. YouTube, social media has become the melting pot for this illusion of connection. You feel like you're connected with people because you post the same story or you laugh at the same thing, the moral failing of these people. And as I was thinking about how much I know people in real life that go to either my church or other churches that don't feel like they have close friends. Don't feel like they have close friends, right? But yet, if you put your birthday on like social media, Facebook, you will get a ton of people, depending on your followers, that will say happy birthday to you on Facebook. And on one level, that's cool. It feels great. It's like, wow, way to go. You're saying happy birthday. But the vast majority of those people don't know you. They got a notification it was your birthday and are probably sending an automatic happy birthday already generated by Facebook. But you get 80, 90, 100 or whatever so happy birthdays, and then you get to, hey, thanks for the birthday, love. And it's great when people acknowledge you, but is it really connection, though? It's the illusion of connection, because the connection is about caring about people, right? Connection, when you feel like you have a connection with someone, you feel like you care about them. You feel like you learn more about them. You spend time with them. You invested time. If you're a believer, like I am, you've done the Philippians 2, 3, and 4. Each one should look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others, right? You have this idea that connection is so much deeper than just posting the same stories or liking someone's or agreeing with someone in the comment section of social media on whatever platform that it is. And as I really thought about it, I don't struggle with this per se. And it may be because I'm old enough to remember a world before social media, a world before cell phones, a world before you put your relationship status on Facebook, a world before all of it. And I'm not knocking it. It's just it's the world of people. My kids are growing up in this world. They don't remember not having an iPhone before iPhones and social media. So I get it. But I feel like as a Christian and a pastor, I have a responsibility. Well, all of us have a responsibility to not let the illusion of connection be our main connection to other people. Main connection. Every once in a while, I'll watch like these like modern dating talk conversations, right? And everyone talks about like the reason why dating and marriage is dying is because they'll like, you have these apps and they give you the illusion of options, right? I mean, if you're really, really attractive and really, really in a certain, then yeah, you have those options, whether you use an app or not. But most people have the illusion of options. And so you might not persevere. You might go on a date with someone. They do something you don't like. Maybe their laugh was a little bit too much, or maybe they actually spit out their food while they were laughing and you were like, never mind. Like this idea of connection being this image that's driven largely by social media is just not really true. It's not true. Like you really don't know people. So I watched Pop the Balloon. It's this, I've talked about this show, Pop the Balloon, this dating show. And it's so superficial. It's entertaining because it's so superficial. You have these people that walk out and they'll pop the balloon as soon as they see you. And they'll say, why'd you pop? I just didn't feel a spark of connection. They ain't even said a word yet, right? We live in this culture where there's this illusion of connection that's actually causing people to feel less alone, because you're supposed to feel connected because you have subscribers, you have all these things, and yet you don't. And I'm talking, when I say you, I'm talking about believers. Believers have an illusion of connection. You feel like you know people through social media, or that's where you get your primary relationships from, because it's also given us the illusion of, hey, we can just talk to people online rather than create friendships. As a lead pastor of a church, you always have to answer this question, like, how do you help people come into the church and then make friends and all of that stuff, right? And the pressure is on the church to create a pipeline for people to go from first-time visitor to member of the church. And I think it's good if you can think through that. But as I've thought about that at my church, and as we've talked about in different ways, the problem is not there's not a pipeline to help people. The problem is a lot of people are so used to digital connectivity that they're not even comfortable with people walking up and introducing themselves to them. There's an illusion of connection that you get digitally that makes it awkward for you to talk to someone in reality. I know people who go to a church, soon as church over, they'll like the church, but they'll get up and leave because it's just uncomfortable to talk to people. Like, how will you connect with other people if it's uncomfortable to talk to people? This is why I'm glad I'm old enough. I remember when you had to have courage to walk up and ask a girl for her phone number. And you had to take the risk of her just turning you down and all your friends being like, ah. Nowadays, you'd be like, hey, you got Instagram? Of course, you ain't do nothing. Everyone's going to give you their Instagram because they want another follower, another subscriber, whatever, right? There's just this illusion of connectivity that I think if you really scratch the surface and you talk to people, a lot of people are really disheartened by that. So if you're a believer, here's the connectivity that we're trying to get, which is almost impossible today. Here's the real connectivity. And they devoted themselves, this is biblical connectivity right here. And they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers, right? Those four things: to teaching, to fellowship, sharing your life together, breaking bread, eating together, and praying together. This is what we try to do in my church, is have this. I think this is real connection. This is biblical connection. And it's sad to me that a lot of Christians don't have this kind of connection with other believers. And some of them are like, well, you need to do more in your church. And some of us are like, well, maybe you need to do more in church yourself. You need to actually be okay with the awkwardness. Embrace the awkwardness of getting to know people. You don't have to do it on social media. All you have to do is like or subscribe, and now you're connected. And then you get in the comment section and you agree with someone else, but that's not connection. This is connection. Here's what happens when those four things are in place. Listen to what it says here. All came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed together had all things in common, and they were selling their possessions and belonging and distributing the proceeds to any as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together, breaking bread in their homes, they received their food in glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all people. There's an illusion of connection just in the world in general, but sadly, there's an illusion of connection in the church. And so as I watched everyone focus on that Coldplay couple, right, and how many people made memes and all of that, you got some good laughs. Maybe a few people subscribed to your channel or befriended you on some social media platform. But the reality is we're less and less connected now than we were 25 years ago. And we're going to continue to be less and less connected unless we recognize that a lot of this is just simply an illusion. It takes real effort to be connected. So let me say this, as this may sound biased, but as someone who leads a church, the lead pastor of a church, please don't come to any church. But if you come to Solid Rock Church, we're right outside of Washington, D.C. in Riverdale, Maryland. Do me a favor. Please don't come visit my church or come to my church. Get up and leave afterwards for a couple weeks in a row and then wonder and then send an email about how do you get plugged in. To get plugged in, to have real connection with people, a couple things are going to happen. It's going to be awkward initially. 2, over time, you will be sinned against, right? You can't be in connection with people and not be sinned against. Unless you're hanging with Jesus all the time, you're going to be sinned against, right? 3, it takes intentionality. The illusion of connection on social media is that all you got to do is like and subscribe to someone or leave some comments and go back and forth and create banter in the comment section. That's not connection. It's an illusion. And many people are like depressed and on antidepressants because of it. I'm grateful for everyone who watches me on YouTube. Even the people who unsubscribe after I do videos politically, or if I take a couple days and don't do a video, I lose 8 subscribers. It is what it is. I may stay in the 4,000s. It is what it is. But I appreciate all the people that I have connected to. I may never see on this side of glory. But on one level, the connection takes intentionality. It takes embracing the awkwardness, and it takes courage. So don't go visit a church and like everything about it, but then leave right after it because it's awkward, but then complain about it. Understand that social media has made it more awkward for people. And let me tell you why this is deep. Because when you meet people in real life or like you get in a relationship, it's actually harder. I think more people in dating, I think more people, it's not just preferences. You know, let me tell you something. People end relationships not just because of preferences and options, but because it's just awkward. You actually just forgot how to take an interest in other people. You forgot how, you know what? Because on social media, like even me, I do all the talking unless I go to the tape. And I'm talking, I'm monologuing. When you write a post, it's just your thoughts. You put it out there, you press send, you press post, you press whatever. It's your YouTube video, it's your picture, it's your post, it's your tweet, whatever it is, it's just you. And you forgot how to talk to people. And so when you're sitting down talking to someone, you're thinking about you or yourself, or you don't know what questions to ask because you don't have to ask questions in social media. You just have to like or comment. It's an illusion. It takes more effort. But what do I know? I haven't even posted in like 4 or 5 days. See you when I see you. Grace and peace.